Well, good evening, everyone. Thanks for turning out for this. Well, not quite impromptu, at least the timing is, okay? Listen, okay, I'll level with everybody that's here first thing off rip. For the past 3 weeks or so, it has been absolutely abhorrent in my neck of the woods. And just right now that I got background there, it's kind of throwing me off a little bit. But no. It's been fucking with my sleep schedule, something atrocious, and hopefully there's supposed to be some rain overnight, so the wildfires that are throwing every fucking thing, like I got some pictures, but the smoke really doesn't translate all that well, but it's been, affecting my voice, it's been throwing my thinking off quite a bit, and it's kind of reflected a little bit in the video qualities. Some of this stuff's still good, and if it wasn't up to snuff, I wouldn't put it out there, but it's not quite as loquacious as it would like to be, and unfortunately, the streams have kind of suffered a little bit over the past, especially the past couple of weeks, and hopefully that'll come to a close soon, or I'll just have to learn to deal with it, develop some smoke gills or some shit like that. But that's not going to stop the fact that I still got some great people. I seen George, I seen Meme, I seen Brian, and everybody else over there kicking it on Rumble, the superior platform. Let's keep it a buck, okay? But YouTube, it's only a matter of time, and even though I've been getting some really good traction on a bunch of those videos lately, it still stands to reason that Rumble very much is the future. So, given the fact that Rumble kind of started off, and it kind of serves as a good introduction point, it did start off, if you guys have been around for a while and have been using the platform for a minute, it was more or less the free speech alternative. That's the way that they like to put it, right? Non-your smoke was causing health alerts down here all week. Oh, I'd imagine, yeah, no, I'm gonna see if I can't get one of those pictures, and maybe we'll take a look at it here, because I got one picture from across an intersection. Across an intersection. I'll load that up here, and we'll take a look at it and see how well it translates. It's fucking wild anyways, but... Oh, excuse me. No, yeah, Rumble. Rumble started as the free speech alternative, and a bunch of, because, well, who ended up facing the wrath of different types of free speech infringements. Well, it was the conservative type, so everybody who, got kicked off those platforms popped up over on Rumble, and I would basically attribute the rise in popularity of Rumble to making it a legitimate... I would say it's what the fuck? Okay, it's a legitimate lower than recommended bit rate. Yeah, it'll fucking come around. Whatever. All right, I should throw it off, and I should go to the other. Yeah, there we go. That'll be less distracting, of course. No. Yeah, Rumble got all of the TradCon's to begin with, and they've kind of got the prevailing opinion on things. And you know what? They don't really have everything down put, and I've seen their tactics develop over the years, because I've been politically active for just about as long as I can remember. Like, I've always been the conservative kid in school who could articulate his points when asked upon him whenever there was a debate. Funny thing, I think it was like grade 8 or grade 9, there had to be a debate, and we got my side of the argument got the very untenable position. We had to work our way through it. We didn't win the debate, but we put up a fairly laudable I remember we put up a pretty decent argument, because I ended up getting nobody on my team, so I had to go through with the point. And I've always been, whenever asked about my political positions, I've always been outspoken about it. And now, well, seeing all of those cucks that have made their different outlets, case in point, and the one that everybody immediately points to is Daily Wire. They're the biggest fish in the pond right now, and they're doing anything different than Fox News would be doing if we're going to keep it a buck. Like, Daily Wire is just Fox News with a better internet connection. I don't see any difference in the talking point. Like, the production values are consistent across the board. They all have a lapel mic, but then they have the fake mic on their desk right there, and then they got some sort of, relatable background. And the one that we're going to be roasting here tonight, first and foremost, actually the only one from the Daily Wire side, because I'll just level with everybody, we're probably only going to go for about an hour to an hour and a half. Like I said, I definitely want to keep, you guys... I got to keep my promise. I got to keep my word. Otherwise, I would be a shit individual. And I say we're going to be going live on Saturday. We're going to be fucking going live on Saturday. So I'm going to take a look at this first and foremost. And hey, nothing against Brett Cooper. She's just repeating her talking points. But the way that the Daily Wire does this stuff, well, you know what? Hey, man, we'll start to wade into some of those topics that might be, you know, a little bit off the beaten path. So she's going to be talking about, and I've pulled 2 videos that we have right here. One, I've made reference to in some of the Bud Light coverage that Miller Lite is not the next Bud Light. I made reference to this. I haven't watched through the entire thing, but I know the talking points that they're going to be coming from because the TradCon fix for society is that, oh, if men were just going to be better men, then women would have the ability to just submit to their femininity and then they'd be good women again. That shit doesn't fucking happen. Women control the access to the relationship marketplace because who ultimately controls the levers of sex? Women, outside of, well, obviously, you know the alternative, and we need not repeat it because it's vile and despicable, and instead of sending those people to jail, just don't even waste the cot space, if you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, they don't want to address that. The world has changed. That's why the thumbnail is an old 1950 Norman Rockwell painting of a traditional family. Shit ain't fucking coming back, okay? We've got to live. We have to assess the world the way that it is, not the way that we want it. Now, we can always aim, okay? If you guys legitimately want the 1950s family where there's a good man and a good woman and 2.5 kids, a dog, and a white picket fence, we can aim for that. 1,000%. I'm not even against that per se, okay? Would I like to have, you know, a good woman? Why would I want to pare down my options? But no, theoretically for society, probably the best course forward. Is that ultimately what's going to happen with the current state of Western society? Abso-fucking-lutely not. These bitches are nuts. And, well, you know, hey, even the traditional conservative parlance has already adopted most of the feminist talking points, which is likely what we're going to be seeing right here. So let me just assess the chat here real quick, make sure that everybody's, you know, having a good time so far, and then we can get into the first of 3 videos. We've got 2 from Brett Cooper. One that's just going to be absolutely fun that I'm kind of looking forward to because it's just so fucking stupid. And it'll also give, you know, TradCon's just an absolute fucking brain aneurysm show. So, once again, shout out to you guys. Yo, shout out Brian, Meme, of course, George, yeah, and then who else did I see on the other side? Oh, CDP. Yeah, she missed a lot of points. Yeah, and then Ed. Yeah, I thought I seen you in here before, Ed, but shout out to you guys. Yeah. Thanks for showing up, guys. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, man. And then, I don't know what's going on. Hey, we even got some people over on YouTube as well. It's wild. It's wild. I got the 3 or 4 times. And CDP. Oh, yeah. Rumble needs a bit of... Yeah, Rumble is getting better, but it does need a bit of work for true. Newsmax. I don't know. I don't have... Yeah, no. Not News. Yeah, it does sound... there's link, yeah. Nice, man. CDPR. Great. And then EX8. Haven't seen you in here before, but shout out. Thanks, man. In the end, you need to make your sponsors happy. It's a sad reality. Well, yes, but you also don't want to compromise. You need to find good sponsors. I'm just bringing up a comment that EX8 had here. It's fair. It's a fair analysis. It's the same thing, you know, when people say I don't want to speak out because I could lose my job and end up threatening, you know, what's going on with my family life. But then you also have to weigh that against, you know what, that's the same thing that people said I was just following orders during a certain point in history in the middle of Europe in 1940. I'm just saying, man, if you aren't going to be brave enough to stand up for your rights and principles, for your non-negotiables, stay on the sidelines. That's all I got to say, man. But first and foremost, who was saying that they were watching this? CDPR? Was that you or was that Ed? Somebody made mention that they seen this before. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Cool. Yeah, no, I think we are all good to go. Looks like everybody's all settled in appropriately. What happened with Brett Cooper? No, she just has a couple of videos that are right here. This Miller Lite is not the next Bud Light. I want to see what the Daily Wire side of this stuff is, because I can think that there's probably a couple of things, mostly because, well, they didn't use the tranny, and that's fine. It's not the same as Bud Light. It's just as bad, because it's rampant misandry. That's what this is. All of the advertisement that's out there today, it relies on 2 points. And I seen this in a comment, and I really should have saved the screenshot of it that I seen. The big problem with most things in society, you can pretty much mark it down to 2 different developments. You know, rampant misandry and overt narcissism. That's a pretty good description about what you see here in just about every very contentious topic that's out there. Totally makes sense, at least to me. You boil it down, it's mostly just adherence to feminism, and then also it's propping up women at the expense of men. So let's see if the TradCon's are going to take that approach. Enough of a preamble. Let's see what Brett is up to. I'll make sure that it sounds.
I get
good.
that boobs sell, guys. Welcome back to the comment section. I'm Brett Cooper.
I get that boobs sell. She's also wearing. I'm going to keep it a book. I don't know if any chicks are in the chat or anything like that, and nor does there really have to be. That's the most attractive top. Like, okay, like, I've had women before ask me, I was like, what do you want me to wear? And, that's just, God, it's like, okay, I appreciate, submissive, docile woman, but if you want me to dress you on a daily, it's like, okay, cool. I don't need a Barbie like that, but I like the aesthetics of, anyways, that's the hottest top that's out there, especially if you can fill it out appropriately. So for her to just lead off, or for her editor to put a no boob sell, and then the first thing that you do is you have that hot top on.
Cooper. We are talking about beer again today, except today it's not Bud Light. We're talking about Miller Lite. There's an ad going around on social media. You guys have probably seen it. It's making the rounds in all the right-wing circles, and people are claiming that Miller Lite is preparing their own grave.
Yes, but there just wasn't that same energy for it for reasons that I pointed out before. There was no explicit attack on women. It was just, hey, look at how stupid men are. That's why there wasn't that energy there, because there was nobody to really white knight for.
But I'm not totally sure, and I actually think that this outrage is a bit misplaced. Before we get into it, though, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you've not watched this video.
Here's a little known fact. Women were among the very first to brew beer ever.
Alana Glazer, isn't she just a fucking waste of decent tits? But she was out there, because I found the one advertisement where she had the tits bouncing for, vote for us because they always get naked. And she was also on Jimmy Fallon not saying Trump's name because that would somehow embolden him, like he's fucking Voldemort or some shit. Like, fucking whatever. She's
From
another
Mesopotamia
ideologue.
to the Middle Ages to colonial America, women were the ones doing the brewing. Centuries later, how did the industry pay homage to the founding mothers of beer? They put us in bikinis.
Yeah, because bitches used to be hot.
Wow.
I just have to stop before we get into it, because it is so ironic, the faux outrage over this, when women today are literally putting themselves on OnlyFans and dancing around half naked on TikTok. It's like, do we like this?
Yeah, it's been going on for a long time. Yeah, it's a weird dynamic that's out there, because the left will get outraged at the corporatization of female beauty, but then at the same time they're willing to sell their buttholes for $3.99, and that's somehow liberating. It's a weird dynamic that they haven't really cognitively thought through, nor would I expect them to. But then conservatives, on the other hand, will be like, oh, remember the old beer posters, but then, oh, porn is immoral. Well, I don't like porn. I understand that it's a function of, regular human society. As much as I don't watch it, if somebody else wants to watch it to get their fucking rocks off real quick, okay, fine. Just don't waste your life on it. But then again, if you want to, that's totally your prerogative. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. I'm just telling you what I do to be successful. And if you'd like to emulate it, well, here, fucking, follow along, I guess.
Is this empowering or is it awful? Feminists need to get on the same page. We need to have one idea, because this
I think she just slipped up. Did anybody else catch that?
empowering or is it awful? Feminists need to get on the same page.
She might have just misspoke, or that could have been a Freudian slip. We all, us, feminists, oh wait, whoops. It doesn't matter, okay? It's the sisterhood uber Alice, after all. Hey man, you're born in, I don't know how old she is, okay, 20-something. She was probably born in the 2000s, which is fucking weird to think about. But also, with all those graduation posters that are around right now, kids that are graduating high school were born in 2005. That's fucking weird to me. I don't know, but the fuck was I going with that? Yeah, no, you're basically born and brought up in a society where for 2 consecutive generations, men have been raised as defective women, and women have been taught that everything that they do is the appropriate de facto way for society. So even if she didn't mean that at all, and that was just simply a slip of the tongue, It's just still the programming that's going on in society.
We need to have one idea because this is all absurd. Anyway, all right, we're gonna finish.
Look at this wild. It's time beer made it up to women. So today, Miller Lite is on a mission to clean up not just their but the whole beer industry's Miller Lite has been scouring the internet for all this and buying it back so that they can turn it into good for women brewers. Literally, good
First, we turn the bad into compost. Then we feed compost to worms. Push out beautiful fertilizer. That good helps farmers grow quality hops.
Like, I know that they didn't want to have, sexualized women, but could they find, like, the ugliest, most crass women that are out there? And I said this at the time when we watched back this advertisement. There is, there's some very overt things that women can do to become incredibly unattractive. But for me, excessive swearing, like, I know I like to say fucking shit and piss and a whole bunch of fun stuff as well over top of that. But when I see a woman do it, it's one of those things where it's just, lower class alert.
Which is then donated to women brewers to make their own really good
But there's definitely more out there. In your attic, in the garage, in your parents' basement. Send any you got into Miller Lite, and they'll turn that into good too. So here's to women. Because without us, there would be no beer.
And then also, glossing over. And somebody was dumb enough to put in the comment section. I only seen it fleetingly. Because... hey, I like to be interactive in the chat when we're doing streams, and that's why I like to do the streams because, hey man, there's a bunch of good people that turn out all the time. Okay, but yeah, I just briefly seen a comment that was in there, and this fucking brainlet who couldn't listen apparently said, "Well, you just wanted to put." I only caught some of the comment anyway, so forgive me if I'm misquoting, and I don't know who said it, but what was it? Oh yeah, you want to say that women cause prohibition. It's like, you don't understand, and clearly you can't listen either, because we went through it, and it's like, why was the 18th Amendment brought along, and then why was the 21st Amendment brought along? It was all because women, listening to women, and then what happened in between the 18th and 21st Amendment? Oh, the 19th Amendment. Well, we're writing amendments to get rid of the 18th. Well, just saying. But yeah, glossing over that, and then as everybody else is pointing out in the convening week or so since this came out, isn't it funny how they say that women are among the first people to brew? Yeah, you had two choices, men and women. Of course they were among the first.
So that is the ad that has everybody freaking out. People are going like, oh my god, Miller Lite went woke, this is so awful, look what they're doing. It was annoying. I hated all the bleeping, that was just weird. And I don't really like that comedian. Mm-hmm. She was in Broad City. I don't actually think that she's very funny. And
What's Broad City? And why does she got umbrellas?
Loves Hillary Clinton, so that drops her really low in my book.
You need to stop dressing like a Soviet streetwalker.
But it wasn't crazy. Why are we all freaking out? This is nothing to the Bud Light scandal.
But it's still bad, okay? Just because your house being on fire is, terrible, it doesn't hold a candle to a bomb being dropped in the middle of the city has nothing on your house being on fire. I understand. They're both bad, and this is also just coming back to just the cultural indoctrination for generations, for years and years, for decades and decades on end. Men have always been presented, at least just cast your mind back even to The Simpsons. Men have always been presented as either bumbling idiots, and Meme knows exactly what I'm going to be saying. Men have been presented as bumbling idiots or borderline abusers. They can never be shown to be competent, and they can be ostracized at a moment's notice. That's what we're seeing here again. And now men being shamed for their preferences. Okay, well, hey, that's totally fine. It doesn't hold a candle to Bud Light because Bud Light has trannies. If there was the same energy at the time, okay, back when all of this stuff initially popped off, hey, why are all the guys being retarded in all of the fucking ads? Okay, can we go ahead and fix this? Like, what the fuck is going on right now? Tylenol's going woke because guys can't figure out what'll make their heads stop hurting. See, this is how far the Overton window is shift. It will always shift to the left. It has for my lifetime because, let's be honest, everything is moving forward. Progress is a straight line. We're all on that track. There is no pendulum that's going to shift back. It's just simply a straight line. Whether we course correct and avoid the cliff that's coming, that's up for debate. But there's no swinging back to this one. So because the Overton window has shifted, amen. Everybody's just kind of accepted that, oh yeah, guys are just, made fun of in advertisements. But now with the Bud Light situation, that's woman face that's out there. This is totally different. This is far more egregious.
scandal. Like, seriously, it really is not. But a lot of people disagree online. Somebody said, not an alcohol consumer, but I don't understand why any company would think that putting a clearly bitter person
Why do you have a wool? Okay, just because they bought a blue check mark doesn't mean that furry should be taken as an authority.
on screen would make people want to buy their product. I mean, people have every right to grumble about whatever, but that doesn't mean it makes me want to buy stuff from them. That actually is very, very accurate. I would prefer ads that are positive and uplifting about the product, not just pushing an agenda, but that's 2023 marketing for you. Because all advertisements now are propaganda rather than being about the product. So as a result, they are very rarely positive or happy. Like, I just want a regular beer ad, maybe with a nice happy family. They're grilling out with some good rancher steak and having a nice beer and just hanging out. Now, guys,
You know what, for Daily Wire, because, you know, they throw their ads into everything, that wasn't that bad of a transition, to be completely honest. I'm just going to go ahead and, you know, continue to move forward until the Chiron's gone, because I don't care. There we go.
Not a beer brand? They donated to Trump, apparently. You can enjoy it with that. Myth Informed said all light beer ads must include a lesson on gender studies to improve their ESG score.
And if you watch a video that I did yesterday, okay, we'll just peel the layers back for whatever reason that video didn't go anywhere. It's so fucking weird. I drop a video in the middle of the night at like 10 o'clock and I wake up in the morning and it has just about 7,000 views on it. I don't fucking know. But then, yeah, I drop one right at 7 o'clock my time, and then that one does like 500 views. I don't fucking know. But yeah, no, like I said about ESG score during that one, okay, you got to peel back the layers because, okay, they believe that adhering to this ESG, okay, environment, societal, and is it gender? I forget. But whatever, it's pushed by the WEF, deep state actors and all that shit. Done a couple of videos on it, and I'm still not entirely convinced that it's this big boogeyman that the conservatives want you to believe it is. Mostly because, okay, you need to have a high ESG score in order to get the funding from the BlackRocks, the Vanguards, all the big hedge funds that are out there, the control the strings, the big Soros groups that are out there. But just peel the layer back one more time. Okay, just like a Joe Biden facelift, just peel it back a little bit more, and then you're going to find out, how do those companies make all the money? Well, they're hedge funds. Okay, so they have to adhere to the stock market. They got their fingers, or tendrils, if you will, in a bunch of different financial vocations. So think about this. Okay, they need to turn a profit in the stock markets. So if they're controlling these companies through their scores, okay, these publicly traded companies, to adhere to these policies that don't make them money, that actually make them lose value on the stock market, and then these companies profit off of a loss of the stocks that they have, like, it doesn't really make a lot of sense, but it sounds good. It sounds good because it gives you a target, a big boogeyman. Oh, it's a nameless, faceless organization. It's just like on the left when you have, the patriarchy is to blame for everything. I prefer to just do the simple thing of following the money, see where everything goes, instead of just blaming problems on, nefarious, faceless organizations. But that's just me, after all.
Another person said, if it wasn't for the production value, I'd automatically assume that this was a spoof ad. Women were among the first to brew beer ever. Well, they were like half the people too. And women were in the kitchen. They were brewing the beer. What else did you expect? Now, like, obviously,
No, they were stirring the pots. You think they could actually figure out chemistry?
it is annoying. Like I said, it is cringe. The outdated feminist talking points. It's too much. It really is like 2015, 2016 feminism. It's nothing compared to today. We have to admit that this woman had her clothes on, which is very impressive. And she was an actual biological woman, which is again impressive. It's sad that it is. It was not crazy. Like, the bare minimum, they used a real woman. It was not some person with a dick trying to be girly and a dumb girl who doesn't know anything about beer or March Madness.
It's the bare minimum, but you did it.
Liz Wheeler tweeted something similar and said,
Oh, fuck Liz Wheeler. I think she's going to pull up the tweet that I just specifically
5 years ago, we'd be
called
boy.
out. Yeah, no, exactly. See, this is why I was initially mad by TradCon's, but I got to shout out my boy Ed over there on the YouTube side of things. Love your content, and I hope you get supported by your subscribers. P.S. I can't stand this female dog from Daily Wire. She's fine, okay, and she wouldn't have nearly the traction that she does. And let's just go take a look. And thanks very much, Ed. Like, I don't mean to sound flippant or anything like that. It's just my head hurts, obviously. But no, she has... Holy fuck, I almost thought she had over a million subscribers. I think under the Daily Wire banner, she's probably... Jordan Peterson got most of his fame prior to signing Daily Wire, but since the inception of Daily Wire, that's probably the second most subscribed to channel. If she wasn't a 6, she wouldn't nearly have that much traction. That's the only reason, because conservatives, TradCon's specifically, in general, are huge fucking simps. So if you have a chick just espousing the same talking points that Michael Knowles, Andrew Klavan, Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh would continue to do, oh, all of a sudden it seems more hip and more cool because a 20-something-year-old who's actually, not in a 45 BMI range, oh, she's saying it, so that means that it's cool because conservative girls are much more attractive than those liberal chicks that are out there. Realistically, okay, you put that fucking goofy ass Alana in a different, clothing set, fix her hair a little bit, not a whole hell of a lot different, but to just bring up Liz Wheeler, who's just a fucking trad thought, like so many of those other bitches that are out there, because that's the exact tweet that I pulled up as well. 5 years ago, we'd be boycotting Miller Lite for this stupid feminist shit, pun intended. Oh, you're on Twitter, bitch, you can just go ahead and fucking say shit. Anyways, but at least they have actual women in their ad instead of a simpering man cosplaying a woman. See, it's almost like they only care about the perpetuation of one half of the species, women. It's totally fine to mock and belittle the desires and the preferences of men, but oh no, when a woman's attacked by another subversive man, oh my God, all of a sudden now it becomes a national issue.
Boycotting Miller Lite for this stupid feminist shit, pun intended, but at least they have actual women in their ad instead of a simpering man cosplaying a woman. Exactly, I would take this over the Dylan Mulvaney ad every single day.
See, that's the problem. You've seceded so much ground, okay? It's, hey, to bring back Jordan Peterson for a second, one of the most salient things, I think that was during his first Joe Rogan appearance where he said, let's see how well, I could take a drink of water before I do my impression, okay? I don't need to turn out even more croaky than usual. Well, the left, it'll come right up to you, and it'll point its finger right in your face, and it'll tell you to move back. And if you don't tell them no, they will continue to encroach, and then you take one step back, and then they'll come right next to you, and then you tell them no, and then they'll move back, and then before you know it, they'll push you right up against the cliff, eh? And you'll have nothing left to defend because bloody hell, they're right at your door, and they'll push you right off that cliff. Something like that. But no, you just see, they're totally fine giving up ground, mostly because, well, take a look at Matt Walsh that's out there. He will just go ahead and he'll grift off of the, well, what is a woman? An adult human female. Next question. Go figure out bigger topics. But if he actually got an answer to that question, well, the grift would end. It's not a complicated topic. As much as everybody wants to point, oh, that was a landmark moment. No, it wasn't. Just went and interviewed a bunch of chicks or a bunch of dudes in dresses, okay? A few chicks with some dicks. It's like, okay, wonderful, fantastic. Some Supreme Court nominee said, well, I'm not a biologist. I don't know what a woman is. Fantastic. She's a fucking idiot. But how many other people in politics are fucking retarded? I would rather than just saying, oh, this is totally fine. Just reinvent the system, but we have to deal with the world the way that it is instead of your idealized version of it. Well, guess what? Both things are not good. And if you don't want to have that same energy the next time that there's another chick that encroaches on your domain, okay, why wasn't that same energy there for the Maybelline ad, okay, or for what else is doing, for the Nike bras, okay? Oh my God, all those chicks that burn those bras for the day. Interesting. It's almost like there's selective outrage that if you can weaponize it appropriately, well, hey, guess what? Hey, somebody's got to cash those checks. We've seen some of those contracts at Daily Wire, so it totally makes sense.
Somebody commented and said, and what's wrong with pretty toned, in-shape women wearing bikinis?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. They should be advertising everything. Listen, I know 80% of the consumer base is female. They control, 80% of the household purchases, all of that other stuff. They're the ones that all the advertisers are marketing towards. You know who likes attractive, pretty, in-shape women? Women as well as men, okay? You like the idealized versions of things that are out there. This isn't fucking rocket science. They had it figured out way back in the day, but a bunch of brainlets got into the places that, needed to feel represented. This might be controversial to say, but fuck it, I'm going to say it anyways. The same people who say that, oh no, they bastardized Captain America or Superman, I looked up to them as children, I consider them in the same bucket as the people that still need to see themselves in every kind of advertisement. They need to see themselves represented on the screen. Fucking grow up. That's my advice for both of those groups.
Another guy said, I didn't hear a word she said over all those clothes she was wearing. Another person said, why is it a crime to love beer and bikinis? The men are very upset.
See how dismissive that was? Oh, the men are upset. Yeah, Duff. Drink Duff.
Yeah. This comment also stood out to me. This guy said, 5 years ago, no one would have boycotted because we weren't all offended by everything and we just lived our lives. Like,
5 years, well, still at this point in time, 5 years ago was 2018, right? And this shit was, it was right in the middle of the Trump presidency. Everything was fucking wild, which goes to show you how little care and how little thought. There's quite a few thoughts actually opining on this. Different spelling though. Actually take this issue relatively seriously. And I don't think I'm over exaggerating it. I'm just taking a look at it for the way that it is. And well, to be completely honest, your dismissiveness of this just goes to show that you only care about the issues that affect you personally. Interesting.
I would have watched this commercial in 2016 as a teenager and thought, oh, okay, whatever, and moved on with my life. And now we're sitting around tweeting about it for 2 days because we think it's some woke catastrophe. This is not the end of the world. I'm sorry if you think that it is, but in my opinion, it really is not. But anyway, back to the commercial.
It's that thought process that has led us to this point in time.
Some women do have a problem with how they have been traditionally depicted in beer ads or in any ads where they are half naked and their sexuality is helping sell the product to men. And
yeah, those are women that can no longer cash in on their sexuality because they got old and fat.
Not just like die-hard liberal feminists. And I wouldn't say that these ads make me...
Yeah, they're called trad thoughts that just all of a sudden, oh my God, I found God at like 29, 30, 31 years old. Now I'm just going to get right with the Lord. And then I can find that man who will just man up and wife up these hoes.
Comfortable. It's not my favorite thing in the world, especially was not as a teenage girl who thought that those model bodies were unattainable. And I was like, why are these the women that I'm seeing? But my solution is not to make...
Because they're the best representation of the biggest accomplishment that humans can achieve in physique. Listen, okay, I can show this once my mouse ends up, fucking firing up. There we go. Is that realistically attainable for men? Is it? Arnold Schwarzenegger at that point in time was what? He embellished his height. Okay, so he was about 6 feet tall. He was what? His barrel chest is still looked at in the bodybuilding community as being the best of all time. The Austrian Oak gained that nickname for that reason. Is that attainable? No, but that's what you want to see out there advertising for weed, or that you want to see advertising for your gym that's out there. You want the best that humanity has to offer in order to put your product forward. That's marketing 101, but you don't get it. She just doesn't get it. And I think some of her default Democrat or just regular base level feminist programming starting to pop through. Not saying that she's any of those things. She might be authentic in her beliefs. She just doesn't understand how deep the programming runs. Go. God damn it.
Get into some huge feminist takedown. I just would never be in one of those ads or campaigns if that was even in the realm of possibilities in this universe. Like if that was...
Do we have to run back? Because it's interesting because, Daily Wire, because knowing that they can turn a buck on it, had their, him, chocolate bar and all that shit. And wasn't she in a dress and high heels or stuff like that? I wouldn't be in that sexualized ad, but I would be, in the Puritan version of it in order to sell a chocolate bar.
Was offered to me, be like, probably not. Again, what I said earlier, feminism is just so all over the place. It's like, do you want to be fully clothed or do you want to be half naked on OnlyFans? I think the discrepancy is that women think it's empowering when they're doing it themselves and they're putting themselves online half naked and they are shaking their ass on TikTok. But when
it's interesting. And then also the same thing. It's feminism when it's something overtly offensive, but when it's covert about it, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know if I would have seen this years ago, it would have been totally fine. Don't understand the encroaching that's happening.
A male-dominated industry or a male-owned beer brand puts them on a label, then it's the patriarchy. It's like, keep your clothes on or I do not care. It just does not feel like a big deal. As a younger person, my mom kept that kind of content away from me, the half-naked stuff, for good reason. And that was her job. It was apparent. She didn't want me looking up to those kinds of women, which I think is a good thing. But again, it wasn't the end of the world. So all of this to say, Even though it is cringe, objectively, it's not Bud Light level. I don't think anybody is actually going to be boycotting Miller Lite. And also, it's important to note, it's not a new commercial, guys. Everybody's tweeting going, oh my God, can you believe what Miller Lite did? Like right after the Bud Light debacle, they're doing this. This is such a stupid business decision. This is crazy. They were...
Oh, I'm just reading the chats here intermittently, and her voice is getting very annoying at the same time. And don't worry, we have one more video. But yeah, no, I'm normally supposed to be streaming on Saturdays. You can see on the Chiron. I got to update all this shit as well. And I got a bunch of shit that I need to do anyways too. But yeah, Saturday, there will be a better time for this, and we'll be able to go longer once the smoke clears up, and then I stop being, you know, affected negatively by that, and my fucking sleep schedule can get on point, because that's been really pissing me off lately. Try to go out for a run first thing in the morning, and then hopefully, you know, some of the smoke will subside. But it's supposed to be getting rain here tonight, so maybe that'll change. But yeah, no, streams on Saturday outside of that one fucking off day, and maybe one when I got to decorate for Christmas. But outside of that, you know, Saturdays exclusive on Rumble on Sundays, and then Tuesday streams as well.
Released this back in March. Here's an article about the product. Miller Lite is turning bad shit into good shit. This was on March 7th. And again, I know it's cringe, but we don't need to have our panties in a bunch about this. It's old news. It didn't spark our attention back in March because it's nothing. And it's only sparking our attention now because we're all thinking about mid to low tier level beer brands. Go on, we can move on.
Oh, see, it's not a big issue because it's not something, you know, that anybody can turn a profit off of. It's Daily Wire in a fucking nutshell. Holy...
It's 2 months old. Nobody is promoting the castration of children in this ad. It just makes it look like we get offended over nothing, which is not a good look. Somebody commented and said, that's awesome. Haven't seen that one before, but anything that triggers a little snowflake's repugnance is good by me.
86 views, 1 like. It's great to point out all of the crazies that are out there.
Other person said, great ad. It's bound to trigger the snowflakes. Like us.
Oh, see, that one at least got some traction, right? It had 17, or just about 1,600.
It triggers a little snowflake's repugnance is good by me. Other person said, great ad. It's bound to...
Yeah, see, it's 1,600, but then that's somebody else who's like, I'm just going to go ahead and weaponize the snowflakes against the right because I was so goddamn effective against them because, well, hey, it makes total sense. But she doesn't get it, guys. She just doesn't get it.
Trigger the snowflakes. Like, us tweeting about this and having a freak out, again, it makes us look like the snowflakes. Us freaking out about this old news.
And again, I don't think we're going to gain anything off the back of this, but let me just emphasize the point that she has right there. See, everything's in the framing of will the left accept us? Please, we're just trying to be good conservatives that are over here, okay? We'll just go ahead. You know, as long as I'm last here, just please accept me. Let me just live a life that I want to. I don't want to cause a fuss or anything like that. Yeah, see, this is why I think Daily Wire and their ilk are totally worthless in the culture war.
Does not make us look good. It does not make us look like we are consistent at all. It just makes it look like we are looking for problems. And I don't think this is a problem that we need to be digging through. And as somebody who likes to garden and actually likes the earth but hates like environmentalism, like TM, the fact that they're turning what would be waste and trash into fertilizer is objectively cool. And the fact that a business is doing that and not the government is also very cool. That's the free market at work. I like that. I support that.
Maybe I was too hard on it.
Let's calm down. This is not a battle we need to fight. We can move on to the next thing.
Yeah, just shut up and simp for, you know, our little girl that's out there. Absolute. That was such a bad take. Listen, I was just going off the headline, mostly because I seen that Liz Wheeler tweet earlier, and it's like, okay, are we going to have a situation with parallel thinking? Not quite. It was actually worse. Like, that was such a tremendous L take, and yeah, it's got a pretty decent ratio on that. Holy, man, that's probably relatively bad for what she does, but also, okay, so how many people watch? 176,000K. And that only elicited 9,400 likes. Holy fuck. Like, over on the YouTube side, and I know I don't say like, comment, subscribe ever, unless I'm fucking mocking it, but pretty sure we got better engagement over here relatively to the size and all that shit, but Rumble being fucking flumpy. Let's take a look. Yeah, we got way better, and then over on YouTube, way better. So it's just very interesting. It's very interesting. But okay, let's see here. What do we got with this one? Western women are too woke for passport bros because, like I said at the beginning, they'll just go ahead. They will throw all of the fringe topics, some of the talking points. Daily Wire, I'm talking about here. They're just going to go ahead and throw them over to Brett Cooper, and she'll opine on it. And passport bros, for those of you who don't know. There are some good ones, which, funnily enough, I think I talked about this in a video that'll be coming out tomorrow, I think, or I might have already. But passport bros, guys who are just leaving the West, Western societies, in order to go to less countries and societies that are influenced by feminism less than the rest of the developed world. So, Southeast Asia, Eastern Europe, all of those places like that. Guys that are just leaving the West, just saying that these bitches over here are way too fucking masculine. I'm out. Nothing inherently wrong with that. You like what you like, and if you want to go over there, go for it. But, man, I just can't take the Asia pill because I just don't like Asian women on general. That's just me. That's just my preference. Not against them or anything like that. One of my good friends growing up was an Asian girl. Yes, of course. So, okay. That's just my preference. In general, it's like, I don't really like black girls all that much. In general. But I can tell you this one time when I was shopping in Edmonton, and there was this one chick wearing an Ernie Banks. She was dark as a fucking closet in the middle of the night. But she was wearing an Ernie Banks Cubs jersey, and she had it tied in the back and had the longest legs I've ever seen in my entire life. I still remember that chick, and that was over a decade ago. That was, whoo, Lord have mercy. Straightened hair. Oh my God. Fucking fire. But I just, in general, though, going over for your average rank and file Asian chick, just can't do it. Just can't do it. Eastern Europe, though, that's a totally different game and all that stuff. But no, that's what passport bros is. And then, of course, there's a lot of guys that are out there that couldn't, pick up and source in the United States anyways. And then they're just, I'm just leaving because these bitches ain't shit. If you have a healthy relationship and you're just tired of the over masculinization of women in the West and you're going abroad for girls, that's totally fine, man. But if you're, just a simp in America and then you're going and buying $20 box in Thailand, you're no fucking further ahead. You're just, you're just outrunning the tentacles of feminism. So that's my understanding and my interpretation of passport bros. Let's see what the Daily Wire stance of this is.
Welcome back to the comment section. I'm Brett Cooper. There is a new dating trend in the world right now. I guess relationship trend is the better way to say it. And it has made its way into the digital conversation and
it's kind of a really old concept, to be completely honest. Like, guys, yeah, like I said before, they've been going to Thailand, Korea, just different parts of Southeast Asia for fucking ever, okay?
And honestly, it makes a lot of sense. Like, when I saw this, I was like, oh my God, like, I can't believe this wasn't happening earlier. It surrounds a certain type of man, a passport bro. So today we're going to talk about that and why these passport bros should wake up Western women everywhere. But before we get into that, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to
Shoot. Also,
Kool-Aid, past the point of no return.
Okay, so this would be, what the fuck is, I fucking forget what that is. Okay, so men who understand that Western women have drunk the Kool-Aid, past their point of no return, and they got their passports to enjoy happiness and peace with fit, friendly, foreign women. Yeah, I guess, but there's passport simps, and then there's passport bros, but for the most part, yeah, good enough.
And got their passports to enjoy happiness and peace with fit, friendly foreign women. Here's another one. Passport bros are a new phenomenon of Western men who are deciding to go to Asia and elsewhere to find traditional and feminine women to wife up because they are either annoyed at the insanely high standards that modern Western women hold, or they don't share the extreme woke values, or because Western women can be hypocrites who want a provider man, but they won't clean or cook. Western American.
Yeah, it's not a terrible description either, but if you're just going abroad to wife somebody up, you're the fucking dork to begin with, but okay, cool.
Women. What the fuck is going on? How did we allow this to happen? The men are literally fleeing. They are
Let's stop the cap. There's so many fucking simps that are out there because, hey, you know what? If guys stopped giving undue attention to women, that would be the point in time where they would straighten up and fly right. But as much as I understand that, you guys understand that as well. There's at least, 20 times more simps that are out there than us who understand the way of the fucking world. So they're always going to get that attention. They're not going to like who's providing them that attention. But for your modern chick that's out there, she doesn't give a fuck as long as she's getting that attention.
Running away from us. By 2030, 50% of American women are going to be single, and we are letting men run away to Asia. I told you guys, it should wake us all up. This is shocking. Like, these are the consequences of feminism. Point blank.
Yes, it is. But then at the same time, what is it? The rise of the she economy in the 2023 right now. So in 7 short years, women are going to be on a balance of probabilities out earning men. So yes, they have effectively become, and say it all again with me, women have become the men that they want to date. They have outsourced all of their responsibility to the big corporations that don't give a fuck about them, so that they can go and buy as many cats as they like and boxes of wine that they can possibly consume. I've been liberated until I could get underneath the vulve by student loans. It's fine. I'm totally happy running through my 25th dick of the year. Yeah, fantastic. You've gone, and you've become independent. You're a strong, independent woman. Independent of what exactly? Oh, a man. And what's the biggest marker of a woman? What's the biggest marker for happiness for a woman? For a woman, being in a relationship with a man that she loves, admires, and respects, and having a wonderful family. But nope, they sold that all down the river. And now, hey man, they're going to be making all the money. So yeah, guess what? Guys are going to go to a place where they're going to feel wanted and needed, because intrinsically, like, I understand that your average rank and file woman thinks that, oh, I have my own money because I don't like to provide for a man, and a man will intrinsically feel the same. Absolutely not. Guys like to feel needed. They like to be the provider. Like, that's kind of our own intrinsic drive as well. We like providing. You know, it satisfies our masculine burden of performance. But women don't understand that, because they can only see things through their very narrow purview of the world, through their own lenses. Because hey, guess what? Guys are going to give them attention. They never have to broaden their horizons.
Like,
in general, obviously.
not only do we have to leave the house and work, which is the fault of the early feminists, and that's a joke because I do actually like working, but still, the point.
Of course you do, because you like the attention. 2.5 million subscribers, kids.
You get it. But not only do we have to do that, but men are literally running away from Western women. It's like a reverse green card marriage. Here's a good little hype reel for passport bros to get you into it. They actually have Candace in here, which I really love. Again, it makes so much sense.
I only want you for the money and the coat and for the bills. That's it. If you ain't getting my hair done, if you ain't getting my nails done, if you ain't doing nothing for me, then I don't need you here.
I really do believe that modern feminism encourages male absence. It encourages it because it's become toxic. All of their examples of the idea of what it means to be a man now is toxic. They think, oh, this is a man. Masculinity is wrong. There's something inherently wrong with being a masculine man. This version of feminism today, we have women that are basically promoting men should act like women, right? And women should act like men. There's all of this confusion. You can pick your gender. You can do what you want. And ultimately, what I think it's doing.
Shut up. I described
like a single
better.
one of those clips. Again, I can tell you guys, it makes sense. Like, the moment I saw the definition, I was like, oh my God, yes! Like, obviously, they're running away. American feminist women, I don't even just want to say American, but just like Western feminist women, they have these impossibly high specific standards. Like, I want you to treat me this way. I want you to buy everything.
But they'll still fuck the hot bartender at the end of the night, because I got all these standards for a relationship. I.e., hey, beta, this is what I need in order for you to possibly be considered. But if you got Chad Thundercock that's over there, oh yeah, he'll smash on night one, but you got to take me on 3 different dates. I like that Gucci bag that's at the store. I'm gonna need that. And then also, if we gotta go out to a date or something like that, and no, I just don't do coffee dates or anything like that. You gotta pay for my hair and nails in order for me to show up for that one. But yeah, exactly. It's interesting.
Everything for me and do everything for me, but you can't be toxically masculine. You can't look like this. You gotta be like this. I want you to be Harry Styles, but I want you to fund my entire life. But I hate you. I hate men. I hate patriarchy. I don't want to take care of you. I don't want to have your kids. I hate you.
They don't. Oh, what's the saying? They don't want to. They don't need a man, but they want a man, which is just old fucking jargon for I've already outsourced I've got all of the provisional abilities in my capacity, so I don't need to outsource that to a guy that, to be completely honest, the average man, like, I don't even like the average man, so why would the average man be appreciated by the average woman, especially if... Just on social media, man, it's so easy. Okay, I've seen chicks that are out there, you know, just personally. I've just asked them, it's like, are there any celebrities in your DMs? Chicks that I'm not all that, you know, fucking interested in, okay? So, because that's another story for another time. But then at the same time, okay, so yeah, you got these chicks. It's like, yeah, I got a couple of DMs. I said that, you know, I'm a big fan of the insert rapper here. I don't want to out anybody, but yeah, okay, I was going to be close to their location. I was going to be going to one of their shows, and then all of a sudden I'd get a DM from somebody in his crew saying that, oh, we see that you're going to be, you know, you're going to be at the show later. Would you like to come backstage? Interesting. Me, even on social media, I would never get that opportunity, okay? I was gonna name off like a female female music act, but I can't think of any that I like, and none that I would consider smashing. But even still, I would never get that opportunity. I would have to provide such extreme levels of value to even be considered to be in the same realm as any entertainer, to be in the company of any athlete that's out there. Even with my personal training business, I would have to provide such a high level of value in order to be considered to be on the squad, to even instruct them about resistance training. Okay, I'd have to develop such a network to get in there, but no, 18, 19, 21 years old, fantastic, blue check marks aplenty. It's the fucking way of the world, man.
Like, no wonder men are confused.
Yo.
Like, no wonder they're throwing in the towel. I'm done. Women caused this. You cannot have your cake and eat it too. You cannot scream at men and say that they are the worst thing that ever happened to the entire world while still wanting a relationship with one of them. And you're not going to get it when you treat them.
They don't really want a relationship until they hit the wall. Let's be honest, because they have so much attention from a multitude of suitors that'll fit different roles that they have.
That way. That's why they are all leaving. Now, here's the first TikTok that I saw about this like passport bro thing. This is a conversation some people were having.
When you pay attention to the passport bros, like they're getting women from like the DR, Colombia, the Philippines, Thailand, like women that can speak very little English, women that don't have education.
They are raised
Oh, of course, yeah. Oh.
to be wives. They learn everything from birth, from their father, from their mother, how to be a wife and how to support your man.
Women that need them.
Oh, of course. You just want a maid. You just want a child. No, we just don't want somebody who's going to, when you're out there working every day and that you got your nose to the grindstone, you don't want to have to come home and fight with some, fucking pleasantly plump bitch that's just going to make your life a living hell instead of helping you out. Yeah, big fucking shock.
Not even women that need them. It's women that treat them with respect.
So we don't.
Y'all know y'all don't.
It's so good. It is so good. I mean, that's a perfect example. Like the Western women, they're pissed about it. They're bitter. They're projecting. And they're also appallingly ignorant and actually racist. Like that is like the definition of racist. So they don't really speak English. They're not, educated. You are so high up on your horse that you really...
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I was just, just so disillusioned with their ratchet vernacular.
I think Western women are the shit, and they are the only ones who can read and speak English. Like, calm down. America's literacy rate is in the...
I would just love them to... what do you do for a living? I'm an entrepreneur. Feel free to spell that.
Actual trash. You're not as great as you think you are. And everything that those men were saying was absolutely true. Women in these other countries are raised to be more traditional. And in America, we're, in the middle of a dumpster fire. No wonder they're going elsewhere. Uneducated. A lot of these countries that they mentioned have a more strict school system than the US. Most places would these days. Somebody else said there are universities outside of the United States. I'm wondering if these women hold a degree. Probably not. And if they do, it's in like feminist modern dance studies. It's just arrogant and insulting. But anyway, moving on. Here is a self-professed passport bro in action. This isn't him on a date. This is just like a day in the life of what he's doing as he's being a passport bro out in the world.
A day in the life of a passport bro in the Philippines. First, we knock out some work at a remote jobs. We make US dollars overseas, which basically quadruples our money in the Philippines. We ride our scooters over to a remote beach to grab some lunch. The food is delicious and the prices are wild. We party with...
Yeah, that sounds like a hell of a good time. Like, you don't even need some mid bitches walking the strip or walking the beach that's out there. But then also, even still, so your average chick, because it's funny, I'm going to end up spoiling a video that I recorded for tomorrow about several fat campaigns that are going on right now. So I just recently, within the past few hours or so, took a look at the fat statistics, the obesity and the overweight and obesity statistics. I just had to go double check, make sure that everything makes sense. So tune in for a more in-depth review of that tomorrow. But the average chick, and specifically the average Asian chick, is the thinnest woman, is the thinnest person in all of the continental United States and its territories as well. So all of the United States and its territories. And the fattest are, you've seen the previous clip that they were playing. So yeah, if you were to just go to Thailand that they're talking about right here, your average chick that's out there might not be all that attractive, but at least she's not a ham planet.
Some more travelers, made some more friends, and then we wake up in the morning bright and early and start it all again.
And bright and early, when they're already working their remote jobs, they're already drinking. I mean, aside from the women and the relationship stuff, the food that this guy is eating, his lifestyle, it all looks great. Although I was thinking about it, and he's probably eating the same meat that a lot of Americans eat because the majority of delivery service opportunity. Chicken, friends, Food Ranchers, promo code Cooper.
So we did meet.
Living the dream of many American men, I'm sure. But then here he is on a date. I think this woman is Thai.
Okay, so we did meet in Thailand and ended up going to a music.
Reasonably attractive, but I can understand. I can understand, but not for me.
Festival together.
How many inches are those? How many inches is that?
I know TikTok goes crazy about ladyboys, but no, she's not a ladyboy. We matched on Tinder, but it is Thailand. You got to be careful.
If you want to find some hilarious Tinder captures, check out MLD on Twitter. Shit's fucking funny. Every once in a while, he'll find one and he'll post some. Especially the single mother ones that are out there. But then at the same time, there are some very, very hot chicks on Tinder that are abroad as well. And sometimes they're also just out there to advertise their OnlyFans, and then they get banned off there. I don't know why I was banned off the dating apps, but he finds a couple of funny ones every once in a while. Shout out to him.
I actually asked her that question the first time we hung out.
Are you sure you're not a ladyboy?
Which seems very abrasive in the moment, just asking if she's a ladyboy, but apparently
Well, the camera's set up, you fucking idiot, but okay, at the same time, it's probably legitimate, but yeah, no, that would have been step 45, and then also, hey, I'm going to videotape this right quick, so, you know, we're going to make a comedy short, just go along with me for a second, because that would be, like, negative Riz if he was actually to spit that all of a sudden. It's like, why would you think I got a dick like Candace Owens? Why would you think that?
They had already been discussing that. And for further context, apparently people have not believed that this man's life is real, and they think that he's just hooking up with a bunch of ladyboys, and a ladyboy is like a common
I would think maybe he's probably, you know, tricking off a bit, but no, it all seems to line up.
Playing in Southeast Asia for a transgender woman prostitute. So he's saying, no, I am not going out with ladyboys. And it's also just offensive that they are claiming that these objectively beautiful women that he's going out with are transgender prostitutes, which is absurd.
Yeah.
Again, just people being dicks. But like what we just saw, men like this get a ton of hate for being these passport bros. And this guy in particular has done a ton of responses. And I, in particular, really liked this one. So I want to show you.
People who are trying to shame the passport bros are going to lose, and here's why. They need a moral high ground to shame you from, right? So they frame it as in like, we are actually protecting these poor, uneducated women. Meanwhile, we all know they don't give a flying... I want to say we're exploiting them when there's more exploitation going on to make the iPhones they're messaging from than us taking a girl on a nice date in another country. What's great is women are actually starting to clap back from these countries, which is amazing, because basically their argument infantizes them and calls them all too poor or uneducated to make decisions themselves as grown women. Now,
but it's also a double-edged sword, because the more... And it's still like a subsection of a subsection of guys that are actually flying out to you know, date these women. Some of them do have game. Some of them are just done fucking around in America. I understand. They just, you know, fucking leave the place. They're out of there. But then there's a lot of dudes who, to keep it a buck, fit that physiognomy of the very round face that he has, and he's just going to go buy box, and then that ends up polluting the ecosystem and no further ahead. But it's like a drop of poison in a lake. Eventually, if you consistently keep it up, it will pollute the lake, but it's not a problem right now. But then at the same time, you know, you got to police that behavior as well, because yeah, if you're just going to go be a simp somewhere else, you're really no further ahead. They'll appreciate it more, but then at the same time, you know, your game's not getting any better.
Our responsibility as passport bros to change the socioeconomic status of the countries we visit? Of course not. I've got so much hate when I started my channel. People tried to cancel me. People were making outrageous claims, and I saw right through it and kept doing what I was doing. And I'm glad you all stuck with me. And if you haters are still here, thank you for all the hate. You're just boosting my comment section. I appreciate you all. I'm not stopping anytime soon.
Like, that guy seems very nice and very level-headed, and everything he said was just like straight facts. Somebody said, hating for the fact that these bros are going out of their way to treat another girl that's not them nice, spoiled, and on an old-fashioned date. Somebody else said, passport bros will never be shamed to stop exploring their option. Let's all fly out. Another person said, I keep my passport ready. Like, these comment sections are filled with men that are like, oh, I want to do this. I want to get out of here. I can't stand the American women. And like he said, women are speaking out about this, and he's also platformed women responding to this hate, like women that he's gone out with. This is one really good one.
The Philippines, Thailand, like women that can speak very little English, women that don't have education.
A lot of these women talking shit on the passport bros have never left the country. It's obvious, because the Philippines is one of the countries with the highest levels of English speaking people that I've ever.
That is true. I can corroborate that, mostly because there's so many fucking Filipinos in Grand Prairie. It is ridiculous how quickly overnight, because I've been up here since 1996. Father got a job working for the city here way back in the cut. I was only 6 years old at the time. The NWO hadn't even come out yet the first time around. Okay, so we came up here, it was Thanksgiving. Okay, so they would have just formed, and that was right before Roddy Piper, Hulk Hogan at Starrcade 96. I'm a fucking dork when it comes to old wrestling. But even still, okay, we came here, that was before the oil boom, because that shit really didn't pop off until about mid-2000s. But I've seen an influx, because when we first got here, it was mostly just regular rank and file Albertans. You had some natives as well. You got some French, because there's quite a few French little French towns that are around here, Hutterites and Mennonites as well. But I've seen influx of, especially when the oil field boom popped off, in the mid 2000s, a whole bunch of Easterners from maritime provinces, from Newfoundland, from Nova Scotia, from New Brunswick. New Brunswick guys were great. PEI guys were pretty great too. I know I named 2 other provinces. They came through as well, huge booms. And then right after that, right after there was a little bit of a dip and then a bit of a resurgence as well, a bunch of Filipinos came through. And they do speak English. Not that attractive though. Sorry, my guy.
Been to. This doesn't go to every American woman out there.
Okay, if you're going to go abroad and you're going to hook up with a Filipino that's got a lip piercing, lip fillers, and tattoos as well, that's a big fucking L, my guy, unless you're just smashing for the night.
This is just for those who keep talking shit about us, okay? And if you're insecure about this, if you're threatened in some kind of way, I suggest you work on yourselves instead of talking shit about other people.
So good.
Who doesn't even care about you guys, who doesn't even know you exist. And y'all kind of seem hard to please and naggy and insecure, and I think that is why.
See, women are so bitchy. They are so bitchy. She's not even talking to a specific bitch, but she's cutting deep.
Men lose you guys.
It's over. We are screwed.
It's so good. It's also so embarrassing. Like, come on, that's how they look at American women. That we are needy and insecure and hard to please, and that we're just angry that other women treat men better than us.
Well, if the CDP's correct about seeing a video about Brett Cooper beforehand, kind of fits the mold, eh?
I'm including me in this because I am an American woman, even though I think that I am. I think that I'm better. But still, it's just embarrassing that this is the global perception of Western women thanks to feminism. Like, she literally left no crumbs. We all need to be more like Filipinas, apparently. The Passport Bro conversation even made its way to the Whatever Pod, and this girl sort of had a different take, but it was also really good for another reason, and just started a whole other thing in my head, so let's just watch this.
They want to go be a passport bro, and I'm like, bro, you're fat, you're broke, you don't deserve a traditional wife. You need to level up.
Yeah, true. No, exactly. You better be better. Otherwise, just fucking accept your mediocrity. Oh my God. We watched just the sidebar for Whatever. That right there is pretty much the downfall. It's the best encapsulation of all of these dating shows that are out there that are just ran by the woman, where the guy just kind of sits back, never really presses against them. But yeah, we watched the one debate. It wasn't even a debate. Destiny, MLD was on. Who the fuck else was there? There was that. I forget. No, his name's Chase, right? That TradCon guy, and then John Doyle. Yeah. All of them were there, and the conversation was circular and didn't really go anywhere, and it had Destiny and his crew, his gaggle of feminists, and wow, I don't remember anything that was said on that podcast, and we watched it for like an hour. It was not good. It was really not good, and that's what happens. And a really good example of why Myron's the best at what he does, Myron from Fresh and Fit, just take a look at the show that they just did yesterday when Fresh was in charge, and it wasn't bad. But it's not going to be remembered anytime soon. But Whatever has a bunch of good clips. It's very good at going viral, but ultimately not a net positive.
Are you against Passport Bros, or?
I understand the fundamentals of it for those who have done everything in life to make sure they are a man. But if you're not a man, I don't think you deserve that, honestly. If some other guy who's living here who's never had an idea of what a male figure is in his life, he's going based off of whatever little content he picks from the internet. He's saying, well, I want a traditional wife. But therefore, he doesn't even have a credit score. He doesn't even have his life in check. He's still driving the hoopty from high school. But you want a traditional girl. What happens when you bring that girl over here? You're going to basically make her a Western woman, and she's...
Well, yeah, that's why you don't bring them over here, but she's not wrong at all. If you're a simp here and you go over there, guess what? You're just going to be a simp regardless. You're just going to be looked at as the same trick and same mark, because these girls who you go to these big tourist locations, they've already seen these guys run through, for decades at this point in time. Maybe their mom have seen them as well, and they're just training them the exact same way. Know how to spot the mark that's out there, okay? If you're a simp here, you're going to be a simp over there. It's the same fucking thing.
She's going to realize, this guy really doesn't have his shit together. Now she's going to cheat on you.
I mean, did she lie? Absolutely not. This also goes for the American, Western men that are just staying here and not becoming passport bros, because you can want a traditional woman and somebody...
Yeah, that are just fucking punching air. And then also, there are good chicks that are here, okay? Not like I'm trying to simp for any of these Western women that are out here in general. I'm just saying, you can still find them, okay? You just got to be that fucking dude. It's that simple.
who's going to stay home and, raise your kids and respects you and follow you. But first, you have to be deserving of that trust and respect. And I think that there's kind of a gap there with some men where it's like, I want this, but then again, your life is not together. So why would any woman want to follow your lead and step into line with you?
I tend to get smelly when I'm bumping iron. Check it out.
Well, you're smelly.
I remember being younger in my earlier teen years, and it always rubbed me the wrong way when Christians would talk about submitting to their husbands, and I always hated that. And that was kind of when I was a little more of I kind of liked feminism, but I didn't really understand much of third wave feminism, but it did always kind of rub me the wrong way. And then I realized that I was just surrounded by, number one, immature teenage boys, but also I had seen a lot of deadbeat male figures in my life, and men who were not
she comes from a single mother household. Says a lot.
Worthy of submitting to and trusting, and realizing that there were men out there totally changed my perspective on all of this. Somebody commented and said, a woman can only step back into a traditional role if the man can be a provider, a traditional husband. If not, she has no choice but to step up. So,
and are you exhibiting the characteristics that would make you a woman worthy of a traditional man? Don't know.
The lesson is...
Well, you're on TikTok, and that looked like a TikTok screenshot, so chances are, nope.
Passport bros, get it together as well. If you're going to go to another country expecting to find a woman who is traditional and is so put together and is so feminine and is so perfect, you have to also play the role that she is expecting, that she deserves.
Ugh, hated that. I really hated that a lot. That hit me. But then at the same time, okay, yeah, men just need to get better, right? And I think CDP alluded to that a little bit earlier. But then, if you're going to be that simp, you're going to be over there, you're going to be fine. Until a woman acts like a woman ultimately, and then ends up, displaying that she, at the end of the day, the hardware might be different, but the software remains the same. She's going to pull those same tricks, and she's eventually, once she puts you through enough shit tests, she's going to realize that you ain't that dude. Those same dudes that Brett was just outlining beforehand that, he's not worthy to submit to. She's going to figure that out real fucking quick. So that's why, hey, if you have your preferences, if you like your Asian queens that are out there, you're a big fan of Ling Ling. You like your black queens are yours, okay? Not Shaniquas, but actual African chicks, okay? You like them, go for that. Me, hey, I know what I like, and it doesn't really much matter where they go. You either fall in line, it's either comply or goodbye. It's plain and fucking simple as that. You just got to be that dude wherever you're at. There's no other choice. There's no other way out.
Because according to the comments, the ladies over there are not impressed yet. Somebody said, facts, passport bros are birds. They're just lazy and don't want to improve in the U.S. And somebody else commented and said, as somebody who grew up in immigrant communities in the U.S., passport bros are always cheated on and never taken seriously.
I don't really know about that, because there is a societal shame that comes with, being cheated on in these other countries that are out there. So I don't necessarily agree with that. But Colombian Mike, I'm sure for sure, or maybe you just go down to Colombia where those chicks en masse have been ran through. It's not even close.
And then the poster of that video said exactly. And then I have...
Yeah, listening again. Who was the poster of that video? Angela Knight. One last video for you, and it's kind of a joke, but it also drives the point home, and the caption of the comments were just great, so we're just going to watch it really fast.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God.
Yeah, shame you into, I don't know, some Shaniqua box. Fantastic.
She seems very docile. Very traditional.
Yeah, but she still wants that big 5-figure, she wants that 6-figure man. She need a 6-pack. He need to be 6 feet tall. Yeah, because I'm a good woman. I'm a good woman because I'm strong and independent. I take care of myself. Yeah, I cook and I clean, but only for my man.
You guys get the point, but somebody commented and said, even when flying, passport bros can't escape. Another person said, well, if this doesn't sell the passport bros concept, nothing will. Another one, I see why he is trying to fly away. Another one, what man wouldn't love to be married to her? Guaranteed a peaceful, stress-free life. So...
Yeah, exactly. But then at the same time, if you aren't going to be that guy, given enough shit tests, your woman will put you through that similar amount of hell. So when it comes to Brett Cooper videos, that about sums it up. But for everybody who's tuning in and sticking around to the end of this one, I got kind of a fun one at the end of this that would absolutely drive the TradCon's fucking nuts. We got a video. Got a video from Jubilee right here, and there was another video that I was thinking about doing. We might do that one tomorrow. Cops versus criminals. Again, just the TradCon imperative that they need to simp for the thin blue line. We absolutely love the police, and it's totally fine that they completely trampled all over our freedoms in 2020 and 2021. That's totally fine. Hashtag thin blue line. We might look at that tomorrow. Not entirely sure, but we got a video right here. 6 natural asses and 1 secret BBL. I think this will be fun. Oh God, it'll be fun. And if it isn't fun, I don't fucking care. We can just take a look at some bad asses, okay? That one right there, not bad. Not bad at all. I don't know. I haven't seen these chicks. I just pulled up the video. I seen it when I was looking for new Jubilee content. I seen that round table, and I seen this one as well. And it's like, let's just have a laugh, shall we? Kind of cute.
I have a real butt.
I have a real butt.
I have a real butt.
I have a real butt. I have a real butt.
I have a real butt.
I have a real butt.
Okay. Okay, so what do we have here? Okay, I'm going to go ahead. We can all play along on this one. The only one that you really can't... Okay, the ginger, that one's real, for sure. Same with, tons of fun in orange right there. That one's, yeah, authentic. The black girl in the leopard print, that one's real. I'm thinking maybe the Asian in the tan dress. That one doesn't look real. Yo, if it's orange, yeah, if it's the orange tights right there, you better get a fucking refund. But can't see the fat Asian. Can't see the fat Asian. But then number 2 right there, she already looks like she has work done on the front end, so it's tough to say. But I'm gonna go with the Asian in the tan dress. That's what I'm thinking right there, because that one, it just doesn't look proportionate, because she got mediocre titties. Like, she's in, like, just taking a look at the rest of her body, like she doesn't have any definition in the legs. So if that was actually rounded from squats, she would have some carryover when it comes to her thighs and from her hamstrings. Yeah, that one immediately. The long dreads, I'm immediately throwing out. The ginger, no, that one's too obvious. Fatso right there, like, okay. That's weird, because that's the only one that actually has shape, but that could also be shaping leggings. But yeah, I'm thinking it's a tan dress one. Let's see what anybody else thinks. That's just me, though. That's just me. Oh no. 2 or 5. Oh, we finally got gifts on the mobile app. Okay, so 2 or 5. Yeah, 2. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But then I also can't tell with the pink top, pink or white skirt at the end. That one might throw me off, because actually she looks like she's decently in shape, because you can actually see some definition on the quads right there. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the tan dress. That's what I'm thinking. Oof.
Hi. Okay. Well, what does everyone do, first of all?
I'm a personal trainer.
Personal trainer.
Yeah.
Bartender.
I school for real estate.
So, wow, okay. How about you?
I'm a property manager, model, and also bartender.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm a recruiter.
Recruiter?
I'm social media coordinator.
Okay.
Yeah, recruiter. Okay, that one could just also be thrown in on my bias on that one. So she needs to have a public persona. So, okay, interesting. And what was that? What was pink top
model
there?
And also bartender.
Okay.
I'm a recruiter.
Recruiter?
Yeah.
Social media coordinator.
Social media Yeah, that's something, because we haven't really seen the ass, but...
Okay. I'm a content creator, so...
Okay, cool.
We know what that means, don't we? $4.99 a month.
Interesting. When she mentioned that she was a content creator, that immediately gave me red flags. I feel like just in this day and age, like a lot of content creators or even like fitness influencers will get things done, and right now, BBLs are kind of in, so I was just suspicious of that.
Who works out and what do you do?
I work out. Like, I can show y'all I work out.
Yeah, no, she's got muscle definition.
So I'm like, I am.
She might have had surgery, but it could have been to remove something. Those fucking traps are ridiculous.
Personal training, yes, but like I do work out.
Oh my god! Okay.
Homegrown. Yeah, no, I lost 50 pounds. I was a bigger girl, so that's just something I've experienced with people. Like, what are your experiences with fake butt? Like,
yeah, taking a look at her physique. Yeah, no, that looks reasonably natural.
Do people ever accuse you guys?
Yeah.
When I was smaller, yeah.
For me, I used to work for Adidas, so I would get it all the time.
Really?
Sorry, are you the board?
Because you have to wear tights. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just say, like, I go to the gym too. I like to lift weights, so I feel like I don't really get accused.
I like to lift weights. Where's your progress? You have zero muscle definition.
Used to like having a fake butt because they see me doing the
I know,
squats.
they see other muscles. They're like, you guys,
I also lift weights.
Oh, sorry.
Queen? Okay.
What do you
See how nobody believed her? That's hilarious.
guys do for like growing the glutes?
So for leg day, I do squats, I do hip thrusts.
I do hip thrusts a lot.
Oh, God, that is my least favorite. those stupid broads that just hop on the Smith machine and fuck the bar. I'm tired of seeing that. That's why, you know, okay, when the gyms shut down during the pandemic and all that shit, that's why I was like, well, you know, I don't have to look at that anymore because that's just more annoying than it is sexy. And I know some people like to look and like, oh my God, look at that. Like, ugh, just fucking get off the Smith machine, okay? I just want to do some squats. It's just you know, fucking the bar. It's so nice that you want to get, I don't know, stronger hip flexors, but you're doing nothing. Just fuck off.
Like the glute bridges, the KS glute bridges, that shit will fuck your glutes up. I'm so sorry, I don't know if I can curse.
I do a lot of Bulgarian splits.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, those kill me.
Well, I just started working out again, so I used to almost be 300 pounds, so I started losing a lot of weight.
Almost be 300 pounds. Well, now she can speak from an authority as 280.
Oh my gosh, so I've been hiking a lot.
Shut up, don't lie. Women give the worst advice ever, and that's why they just, that's why if your girlfriend has hoe girlfriends, they will give them the equivalent advice. She doesn't look good. She's on her way, and I'm happy that she's going to the gym, allegedly. It's just the one that, the white shorts right there, I think she probably got the BBL because those tits aren't real.
I've been going to the gym as much as I can.
Yeah. That just threw me off.
I love that.
Yeah.
Tism.
I don't work out. Can we examine?
Can we
just look at each other
again?
Okay. We just show our butt.
Yeah. Like show
Okay, so we have a skirt. Right, nice. Full coverage. The fact that everyone was showing off their butt and she wore a skirt that covered it, I was a little skeptical. Like, what's under there? What are you hiding? What's your secret?
Yeah.
Girl, you're built so different.
Thank you.
Okay, those tights show a little bit different. But yeah, she's got the muscle definition like that. That will make sense.
It's weird.
Literally. I love the dress.
Thank you. I wore this specifically for the glutes, you know.
exactly.
So I hope you guys trust me.
I'm all chunk, like just
Beautiful.
very chubby.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'm checking everybody out. Wow, I literally have no idea, guys.
It's hard.
I'm lost.
They all
You gotta bang your body though.
Yeah.
Oh my God, girl.
Okay.
The glute routine is gloomy.
I feel like we should go around and like name like what we're insecure about our butt or something we like about it.
I guess I'm insecure about like, you know, like the shelf where like people have that like,
Oh my gosh, me
so,
too.
you know, that's what I try to work on.
I think it's an ancient thing.
My butt looks better on the side, but like from the front, I feel like it doesn't look the best. But
Yeah, because it's, I've already given her enough shit.
I feel like the hardest thing would just be trying to find pants that fit good.
Yeah.
You know?
And skirts and dresses.
Yeah. But for me, I definitely feel like it's a shelf, and I think it's just an Asian American thing. It's just like how we're built. But yeah, it's definitely like the shelf, and then like also like how my butt is like kind of like square shaped, I think. But you know, like we're able to like point out our own insecurities better than anybody else.
Yeah. I would never have thought that at all.
Nice.
My hip dips mostly, and also just like, but I do like the side profile, and I like the feel. I guess like it feels nice.
Okay.
All right.
For me, when I was like growing, I like ate a lot of food and I got stretch marks on my butt, which is how it is. But the shaping, that's definitely what I like about it more than anything.
For me, it was cellulite because before I was like super big, and then I had to lose weight, then I got skinny, then I had to build it back up, and like that's just something that comes and goes still.
I feel like my biggest insecurity is that I feel like I don't have the hips that matches my butt, like because I am half Asian American. And
That's okay. So, well, okay, it's different countries that are out there, obviously. I don't know specifically, but yeah, one of those.
We have more
Polynesian
narrow
for
hips,
sure.
a little bit of a hip dip situation going on. But I love my butt. I feel like I don't really have to work hard for it.
Fantastic. Life's on easy mode. Oh, is this fucker just gonna advertise some shit? Anyways.
Now let's get back to the video.
What do you think? Okay.
She has the perfect booty. Like when you think of a BBL.
Nah, that one I think is natural. I think that's natural. She built different.
She has exactly what you would expect to see.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm a little suspicious.
Why would you think that? Now I'm starting to think that it's skirt girl.
Oh my God, guys. Goodbye. Okay. Goodbye. Peace and love.
I don't know. Would that be like a compliment or some shit like that? Like your ass is so crazy that people think that it's fake? I don't know.
I'm kind of flattered that I got eliminated first.
Yeah.
Kind of makes me feel good about myself, not gonna lie.
All right, let's just.
Okay. Well, that's a
I feel comfortable
compliment.
like touching each other.
Yes, 100%. I got 3 sisters. Every day.
Well, it's all displacing fat from other places, right? So I would imagine as long as it isn't brand new and there's no like inflammation or anything like that. I wouldn't feel any different. I haven't been with the chick who's had a BBL. I think that shit's fucking atrocious, but yeah. It is what it is.
At the same time.
Okay, she worked out.
Sorry, I don't want to. Oh, no, that's good. That's good.
This feels so weird.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely worked out. Thank you. I'm feeling for like, for.
Well, first of all, I know that it's not this ham planet because she doesn't do anything anyways. I'm just naturally thick. It's like, ugh, naturally thunk and get the fuck out. But no, the personal trainer that's up there, yeah, her right there. Even if she did have a BBL, that would absolutely kill her brand as a personal trainer. So that just throws it right out the way to begin with. So yeah, no, she's not the one.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely worked out. Thank you. I'm feeling for like, firmness and like jiggle, I guess.
How the fuck would you know?
Usually when people have like BBLs, they're like mad defined, like snatched.
That's a good thing.
Okay. It's so funny. I'm sorry. Okay.
I'm done, bro. Naya, her butt felt a bit like firm, but she had mentioned that she had only recently started working out. And usually when I feel like someone's butt is firm, it means it's more muscular.
She knows way too much.
So that made me just a little suspicious of her.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I know some of you guys work out. Is it genetics? Do they play a role in like having a big butt? And if so, yes, and how?
I've always just like kind
Yes.
of an ass like my entire life. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it all depends on where your body naturally stores fat. For the most part, women store it around the hips and the ass region. That's generally where it goes. But, some chicks, they just widen out because the hips are naturally where they're going to land. Otherwise, women just, grow out naturally and have the big long ass, which is kind of unfortunate because you kind of just end up looking like you have a dorsal fin, but it is what it is. It's the same way that guys, if they get the atrocious beer gut, otherwise guys just kind of, for them it's normally around the midsection and the ass as well, but it's mostly in the midsection. Other guys will just store fat in other places, trying to tap into my old physiology.
We're all like Asian American, us three, and we can all relate to like the hip dips part, like the square, and like not having an upper booty.
Oh, I mean like if you were working out, would you have a big butt naturally?
I feel like genetics don't play a part.
Yeah. For me, I'm Spanish and Mexican, so my dad and my mom's side of the family, they're all.
Oh, that's why she's built like a box. That makes sense.
Pretty much like that. Yeah. So I feel like it does play a big part.
My dad is actually the one that I get my butt genetics from. So when I work out, obviously glutes are important, but I don't have to work as hard just because I have that genetics there.
Yeah, I get you. I always had kind of like a little bit of a big butt, but like it definitely was nowhere near like how it is now. Yeah, like I'm very transparent with that you guys don't have me on Instagram, but like with my clients, that's what I promote. I'm like growing a big butt.
I'm all for like any kind of body modifications as long as people aren't like harming themselves.
For sure.
Because I know like body image, like
I'll just leave that screenshot there for a second. No body modifications as long as you're not hurting yourself.
our society is just like hips, ass, tits, whatever, and people can like really get down on themselves about that if they don't have that. So I know people go through like crazy lengths just to like have that ideal body. But I mean, as long as people are being safe and like, I don't mind at all.
For me, it just depends. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I'm all for like, if you want to get it, get it. But as someone who knows it's possible to grow a butt in the gym, I'm like, just try. Try before you pay the money. Try before you almost could kill yourself, like you could die, the risks are really high. I
feel like it's important for people.
Oh, it's the most dangerous plastic surgery. Like, bar none, nothing's even remotely close. And a lot of people, even before this, like, as an old school O&A fan, and they say that quite a bit, but there were stories. I remember hearing one story about chicks going down to, I think it was Brazil, getting fucking Fix-A-Flat put into their asses in order to make them look more shapely. And those old school ass implants that were hard as a fucking rock, kind of like the... You know how you used to have like the bubble tits for the chicks that were getting the proto before they had saline or would go under the muscle, so that would push everything out and look a little bit more proportional. Yeah, they would just put a bunch of wild shit in their asses and they would just fucking end up dying because the injections were poison and not properly contained. So I guess the technology has improved, but crazy big asses like that, well, I'm a little tanned, but not the appropriate shade.
People to first look into the wrist, look into like, how does it work? How might it affect your body like down the line before jumping to it, just because it's a trending thing,
You have to be careful of like, if you get the surgery, those other insecurities might pop up and there might be something else.
True.
So you just have to make sure it's something that you genuinely want, not that you think it's going to solve all your problems.
I agree, yeah.
Curious.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, she would have been the other... Actually, now that I see those titties, they're probably the ones that are, at least they're like wide. So she's probably like a 36C. Okay, that's what I'm thinking right there. So at least they're full enough up at the top, but then the nipples probably wing out at the side. So yeah, I actually think that, yeah, she's all natural.
Sorry, babe.
Okay. I think they voted me out because of my wardrobe, but not only that, I have social anxiety, so I think it like made me suspicious.
If you think the mole is still among you five and you want to keep playing,
Oh, yeah, no
raise
doubt.
your hand on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow. Okay.
I don't know if we should like just move ourselves, like watch it move. I'm not trying to be weird, but like we touched it, but like I feel like visually, you know. I don't
You know, throw it back for the boys.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, except for Santa's little helper there. Donated.
That's fair. Just a warning, I ain't got no rhythm.
No, like.
Okay, I'll go first. Okay. I don't know. What do you guys want to do? Do you want to just like do it? I don't know. What do you guys want to do?
I was not expecting
Yeah,
it.
no,
That was great. That was all. I'm just gonna move it.
Oh, but you're wearing tights though.
Yeah, that's true. It's hard. It's hard.
I feel like when I walk, like it just moves. And so like I don't know, like something like that. Something like that. I have no rhythm.
That's a fake ass. That is such a fake
You are,
ass.
yeah.
All true.
Don't laugh.
Yo, she just has a ton of visceral fat. Like, she's always been that size proportionate to however tall she is. She's built like a Hershey's Kiss.
Joy's outfit, it was super hard to tell, and I was like, why are you trying to hide something, you know?
You guys think that people are generally more attracted to bigger butts today?
Today,
yes,
it's so
yes.
boom
Yeah.
everywhere on my freaking Instagram, everywhere I drive down the road. Like I feel like it's just in your face. Kim K, Kylie Jenner.
In the black community, like ass is just like always just been a thing because like
definitely.
genetically that's just how
She
it
got
is.
ass,
And
though.
I feel like things that black people do or like things that black people have like features become trends. So I do feel like it's trendy
black
right now
people.
because like beforehand black people used to get made fun of like in menstrual shows and shit, like for having like bigger ass.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But I think it'll die out like every
It's boo.
For only speaking 13% of the time, she is contributing to 100% of the headaches.
Boobs are butt, and then it's being tiny. Like remember when everyone was skinny, and then it was like
The
this
thigh
is my
gaps
ass
and
effect.
everything.
Yeah. And it's just it's a
Yeah, can we go back to thigh gaps? That'd be great.
fluctuating thing.
I also think it's different in different societies. Like I feel like
Oh,
in
yeah,
Asia,
yeah.
like
It's
it
the
isn't
opposite.
really like
Yeah.
encouraged to have a big butt. I think it's more of that like slim
Tiny,
frame.
yeah.
But in the U.S. for sure, it's like the slim thick
Yeah,
look
yeah,
right
yeah.
now.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's the
Slim thick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it is. Whenever I order off like Yes Style or like
Nothing
anything
fits.
like that, no,
Yeah.
fits.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's getting voted off. Oh, okay.
my suspicions have grown.
I'm split between two people.
There was
Oh, you
actually a
fucking
tie.
retards.
Naya and Joy. So these two people have 30 seconds to back up their butt and prove that it's real.
Yeah, throw that back.
When I was older, when I was younger, I've always, like you said, I've always had, how do you say, like, I've just always had a bigger bottom. And my thighs, and that's
Yeah,
why,
that's a
like,
big.
I don't know. I really
She's
don't know how
Samoan.
else to say, but like, it's pretty much just
Yo, she built like Rikishi.
genetics. Like, I would never get anything done besides like my lips done.
So I spend about like 10 hours every week in the gym. I naturally have a big butt, but I do 2
I don't. Stop it.
days of
Stop it. You're lying. You're lying. Okay. If you spend 10 hours in the gym, which is what, 2 hours, 5 days a week. That
glutes
wouldn't be
with
there.
quads and hamstrings and everything like that. And like I said earlier, my dad
You have no fucking definition. Unless you're light lifting, you're
That's
lying.
the one that I get my butt genetics from, not my mom. He used to like tear his pants sitting down. That's never happened to me. That's never happened to me, but
He got a wagon.
it's hard to find like pants, skirts, dresses that fit.
Really?
I don't know. I feel like at first I thought maybe we already got the mole out, but then I was like, maybe they just didn't know who to pick. So
If you think the mole is still among the 4 of you, raise your hand on the count of 3 to keep playing. 1, 2, 3.
I'm like, I do. I'll just read it. I want to, but it's okay.
All right. If the box turns green, you guys have successfully voted the mole out. And you all get to split the...
Oh, yeah. Did you see? Oh, did you see Chang there? She was looking to
If
the
the
side
box
big
turns
time.
green, you guys have...
Okay, we're just gonna go frame by frame here for a second. Box turns green. Watch her look. Oh, look at you. See her. It's not because her eyes are like that, but no, she's looking down. Oh, she's looking down and to the right. You know exactly what time it is.
Mole out, and you all get to split the cash prize. If the box turns red, that means you
And the little smirk there as well. I'd be remiss not to mention.
guys have lost, and the mole has won. You ready?
I'm not.
Oh shit!
Oh my god! Thank you, Joy. Good job. Good job. Teamwork. I mean,
No, L Dawn. He got it wrong.
amazing.
On the count of 3, the mole can reveal themselves, okay? You guys ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, it actually was my other guess. Well, look at that.
I knew it.
Wow.
I actually got a BBL when I was 17, about to turn 18.
Do you think BBLs spread body positivity?
No, that's really controversial for me to say, but I just feel like social media makes it seem like you have to have like an out.
It just also goes to show you how little work women will put in. Oh, I would just rather go under the knife for an incredibly dangerous surgery instead of just, you know, putting in reps in the gym. But I don't really care what this fucking brainlet has to say over the top of it. Got it quasi right, just about right. No, actually, the one that I put all of the chips behind, she didn't end up being the right one. So that was fun. That was kind of fun. Got it partially right, but hey, I guess just shout out to our tan-dressed Asian that's right there. Okay, put her back on screen for a second because it was actually the decentest ass that was up there. Okay, is she gonna? No, she's just gonna continue to babble until the end. Yeah, fuck her anyway. So, regardless, thanks for turning out, guys, for this one. I'm just gonna peruse the chats real quick, make sure that I don't miss anybody. Oh, Manu, I didn't see you before. My fucking, you know, my YouTube app was, you know, Big Gay that was over there. I don't fucking know what, anyways, but yeah. Brian bouncing between the two different chats. EX8 for turning out. Yeah, I haven't seen you in here before, but hopefully you turn back up, man. It's fucking great stuff. Rookie bouncing between the two. Manu turning out again. Derek, okay, what are they looking for? Oh, yeah, Sugar Daddy. Yo, that's hilarious. Yeah, BBL hunting. Yeah, that's what it was. Manu. Smell of cheap perfume and chicken tenders. Yes, exactly. And, cheap car air freshener. Exactly. Built like my ideal body type is fit and attractive. Huge standards for Manu. Okay, that is just absolutely. I don't know, man. That's very, very high. Yeah, I was wrong. Yeah, Daddy got her a BBL. Yo, L father, and that's for true. Damn, if I didn't fall so far behind. Yeah, double WTF. Yeah, it's all good. It's an athlete, just to be ironic. That would be weird. I also would have thought it would have been really, really, because last time we did one of these, which one of those dudes in the box is gay, and then it turns out that none of them are gay, and then they just ran one of those mole tricks. It just would have been really hilarious if it was the quote-unquote content creator was the one who actually had the, you know, fake ass, which, shout out to her for putting in work. Decent ass that she had, but yeah, it would have been funny, but no, for sure. But yes, no, it looks like we're all good. And I know Ed pieced out earlier, but once again, if he catches replay on this, shout out to you, man. You know, forever generous on this. And shout out to everybody else who turned in through as well for this very, very late stream. But that's all right. Tomorrow we're going to turn up Rumble exclusive. Rumble exclusively tomorrow. We'll probably do that roundtable that I found before on Jubilee, which I can show you guys what we got right here.
I'm in a gang.
I don't need to hear that. Yeah, we watched the gang member one, but why do they do that one? Yeah.
Just because you're a cop.
Okay. What do we got? Capture. Yeah, police versus criminals. I think we'll watch this one tomorrow. This one could be interesting because it's another one of those middle ground things, and oh well, that's me anyways. But it really doesn't much matter. Yeah, we'll watch that one, and I got a couple of other things that I want to take a look at as well. So it'll just be another grab bag one, but we'll be able to say some more spicy words that are over there. But not that I say anything incredibly outrageous. But for the boys that turned out, and for the girls that were in here as well, I do appreciate you guys just doing the rundown. CDP, thanks for turning out, man. You are fucking killing people in the chat. That's hilarious. And George, Brian, of course, Meme, as always. Who else we got in here as well? Seen some new names in here as well, which is always fun to check out. Ed, yeah, you were in here earlier. Brian, you got that. Who else was in here? Yeah, Rookie in here too. I see that other name. Oh, yeah, C. Gorman. Thanks for turning out, man. might have missed your name before, but yeah, no, thanks for coming through, being a new one that's in here. I really do appreciate that. And what do we had over here on YouTube side? No, for sure, Brian as well. Yeah, don't go full stab somebody. But no, man, thanks, guys. Thanks so much. CDPR, EX8, Ed, Manu, of course, everybody that's over there on both sides. I appreciate it. And yeah, turn out tomorrow. It'll be a hell of a lot more fun as well. And as for right now, I'm going to call it an evening. Have a bite to eat and then go to bed and do this shit all again tomorrow. Got some more thumbnails and shit to make tomorrow anyway. So, with all of that said, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.